that we appreciate our chief guest who's joining us this morning. May we welcome our chief guest, ladies and gentlemen. She's here on a special assignment by the head of state. And Right Honorable, we are indeed honored and glad that you're here with us this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, we do not have a lot of time, and our chief guest has another engagement later today in another part of this country, and so we'll quickly turn to our program. May I invite Mr. Samuel Werewandera, the Executive Director of the Financial Intelligence Authority of Uganda, to come and make his remarks. You're most welcome, sir. Can we warmly welcome him, ladies and gentlemen?
Our chief guest, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, representing His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, allow me right on the protocol which has been established by the Masters of Ceremony. And I say good morning to you all who are attending this function. I take this opportunity to welcome you all to Uganda for the 49th Esaamlg Taskforce of Senior Officials meeting. I thank you for honoring our invitation to be here this morning. Your presence in such big numbers reaffirms our collective resolve to fight money laundering, terrorism financing, and proliferation financing in our region. Hosting the 49th Task Force of Senior Officials meeting is an important milestone in enhancing our country and region efforts to combat money laundering and countering the financing of terrorism and proliferation. I therefore wish to thank the Esaamlg Secretariat for the opportunity given to Uganda to host this very important regional meeting of AML CFT stakeholders, having missed the opportunity to host the meeting in August-September 2021 during our presidency due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The government of Uganda remains firmly committed to the fight against financial crimes, as evidenced in the strong legal, regulatory, and institutional framework put in place to ensure the integrity and stability of our financial system. Right Honorable Prime Minister, the AML CFT stakeholders appreciate the continued support and policy direction we receive from the government of Uganda. I take this opportunity to thank the National Organizing Committee for planning and coordinating all that has been and what continues to be made available for the benefit of our delegates. In a very special way, I would like to thank the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development for fully funding this meeting. Honorable Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, we are grateful for your commitment and continued support to our AML CFT efforts in our country. To the delegates, I know the agenda for this meeting is very tight, and you have been working very hard for the past few days in the different Esaamlg working groups. I hope you'll find some time outside this busy schedule to enjoy the best of Uganda's hospitality. Uganda is commonly referred to as the Pearl of Africa because of its rare beauty and breathtaking landscape, abundant wildlife, vibrant culture, and warm hospitality. I hope that during your stay in Kampala, you will indeed find the time to experience all the beauty and the best the country can offer. I wish you all fruitful deliberations and a memorable stay in Uganda. Thank you, and for God and my country.
Thank you very much, Samuel. I now take the honor of inviting Ms. Fikile Zethe to make remarks on behalf of the group as the Executive Secretary. May we welcome Ms. Fikile, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning. Honorable Prime Minister of the Republic of Uganda, Right Honorable Robina Nabanja, Honorable Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, Honorable Matia Kasija, Honorable Minister of Justice, the Attorney General, Minister of State for Finance, DPP, Deputy Governor of the Bank of Uganda, Inspector General of Government and the Board of FIA, Chairperson of the Task Force of Senior Officials, Mr. Fraser Ayelo, Permanent Secretary of Treasury, Mr. Ramathan Gobi, the Executive Director of FIA Uganda, Mr. Samuel Wandera, distinguished delegates, observers, partners, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. In the local language, I'm told if I'm not gonna make mistakes, we're supposed to say, Mwasuzi Mudia. That means good morning. On behalf of the group, I'd like to extend our deepest appreciation to the government and the people of the Republic of Uganda for hosting this important gathering. Moreover, we appreciate the presence of the High Office being in attendance. We know that you have a tight program, but you made it here, so we really appreciate it. This is a strong commitment shown by the government to combating money laundering, terror financing, and proliferation financing. Your hospitality as our host by bringing us to this beautiful place of Munyonyo, situated on the shores of the Lake Victoria, one of the African Great Lakes, provides us with a valuable platform to engage in meaningful discussions that will enhance our regional AML CFTPF efforts. I know the program is tight, so I will just end here by saying, Mwebalo Nyo. Thank you very much.
And just before I invite the head of the Ugandan delegation, I want to say, whoever is helping Ms. Fikile with her Luganda is doing a fantastic job. Please keep it up. I now take the pleasure of inviting on behalf of the delegation, Ugandan delegation, the Permanent Secretary and Secretary of the Treasury of the Republic of Uganda, Mr. Ramathan Gobi.
Right Honorable. The Right Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Ministers, Chairperson of Esaamlg Taskforce of Senior Officials, the heads of government ministries, departments and agencies, the Executive Secretary of Esaamlg, heads of delegations, senior officials, all of the cooperating and supporting nations, observer nations and organizations, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor and privilege to address this esteemed gathering on behalf of the Ugandan delegation at the 49th Eastern and Southern Africa Anti-Money Laundering Group Task Force of Senior Officials meetings. Allow me to begin by expressing our deep appreciation to the Secretariat and the Organizing Committee for their outstanding efforts in coordinating these meetings and creating a conducive environment for the dialogue and collaboration. Your dedication continues to strengthen our region's fight against money laundering, terrorist financing, proliferation financing, as well as other threats to the integrity of our financial systems. We convene here, Right Honorable Prime Minister, at a critical time. The challenges we face in combating financial crimes are growing in complexity and in scale. The misuse of emerging technologies, cross-border nature of illicit financial flows, and the lingering vulnerabilities within our frameworks for anti-money laundering, as well as the combating financing of terrorism and proliferation, they all call for a more unified, strategic, and adaptive response. In this regard, the Esaamlg remains a vital platform for fostering regional cooperation, sharing expertise, and strengthening compliance with international standards. As member countries, we share a collective responsibility to ensure that our MLCFT systems are not only effective, but also resilient. Uganda reaffirms our steadfast commitment to implementing the Financial Task Force standards and to working closely with the Esaamlg to enhance our legal, regulatory, policy, and institutional frameworks. We have made significant strides in reforming our MLCFT regime and continue to prioritize capacity building, public-private partnerships, but also international cooperation as the pillars of our national MLCFT agenda. We also acknowledge the critical role played by the Esaamlg mutual evaluations in identifying deficiencies and driving meaningful reforms. We commend Eritrea for undergoing its assessment, which will be discussed during this meeting, and extend our full support to them. As we all prepare for the third round of mutual evaluations, let us embrace these assessments, not as criticisms, but as opportunities to strengthening our systems and reinforce our shared commitment to financial integrity. We must remain vigilant in addressing emerging threats, including those posed by virtual asset activities and operations of virtual asset service providers, environmental crimes, but also illicit trade. Addressing these challenges requires innovation, sustained political will, and strong collaboration among all the stakeholders. In conclusion, Right Honorable Prime Minister and all of the delegates, I urge all of the member countries to continue embracing the spirit of cooperation that defines Esaamlg, Let us build on the achievements, learn from our challenges, and also work together to safeguard the financial integrity of our region as well as the well-being of our people. I wish all of you fruitful deliberation and a pleasant stay in Uganda. I thank you.
Thank you very much, PSST. Right Honorable Prime Minister, this 49th Task Force session of senior officials is hosted by the Republic of Uganda, as mentioned earlier. We also have specific stakeholders in this particular session, who include, of course, the Financial Intelligence Authority and other stakeholders, namely Right Honorable the Uganda Investment Authority and the Uganda Tourism Board. And we really want to appreciate all the stakeholders who are part of this 49th session. May I now invite the chairperson of the Task Force of Senior Officials to make opening remarks, Mr. Fraser Ayalewi, who is the Director of Supervision of the National Bank of Ethiopia. Ladies and gentlemen, please invite our speaker.
Good morning to you all. First and foremost, I would like to recognize the presence of the Right Honorable Robina Nabinja, the Prime Minister of the Republic of Uganda, with us today as a guest of honor for the event. Right Honorable Prime Minister, on behalf of the Eastern and Southern Africa Anti-Money Laundering Groups and delegates of the Task Force of Senior Officials meeting, I would like to sincerely thank and appreciate you for gracing our meeting being conducted here at the beautiful Speak Resort Munyonyo, Kampala, Uganda. I would like to also thank the Honorable Ugandan authorities and ministers and all other high-level delegates with all protocols observed for being with us here today. I would like also to thank the government of the Republic of Uganda for hosting this event and for the warm welcome and hospitality accorded to our delegates so far. Thank you so much. And finally, I will be wishing a very productive and fruitful deliberations going forward, and I thank you so much.
Right Honorable, for a minute, when I was consulting my supervisors, I had seen the laptop, and so I thought there was a long presentation. So I had allowed for time. My apologies. Right Honorable Prime Minister, before I invite the Finance Minister to speak, I thought we'd recognize some of our dignitaries who are here. We have some heads of delegation who are here. But allow me, with all due respect to the heads of delegation, some of our members of the delegation are a bit very important, and so we must recognize them. Allow me, Right Honorable Prime Minister, to recognize the following. We have justices who are present here, and allow me recognize from Eritrea, Mobei Hure Biraki, who is a judge and in the Ministry of Justice from Eritrea. Can we warmly receive them, ladies and gentlemen? If you're here, you stand for recognition. We also have with us from Eswatini, Mugagalu Zonke, Judge of the High Court of Eswatini. If you're here, please stand for recognition again. Yes. Also with us from Mozambique, Silvier Comissario, Judge of the Supreme Court. Please stand for recognition. If you're here. Also with us from the Seychelles, Right Honorable, a very beautiful country. I think I saw you travel there most recently. The Secretary of State, Payet Patrick. Please stand for recognition in the Ministry of Finance. Right Honorable, also with us, we would like to recognize the following, and I'll come to some of the heads of agencies here in Uganda. We have permanent secretaries from Tanzania. I want to request them to stand, Samueli, Eliakimu, and Ali. Please stand for recognition. The three permanent secretaries from Tanzania. Please stand. Are they here? Yes. Right Honorable, we also have Attorney Generals. We have the Johalim Hamza, the Attorney General of Tanzania mainland. Please stand for recognition. We also have Haji Mwinyi, Attorney General Office, Zanzibar. I also know that those are here, and Right Honorable, these are all present and here with us. But also here with us, Right Honorable, Directors of Public Prosecution. We have the presidents of the anti-corruption courts, for example, the gentleman from Burundi, and several other heads of government agencies that are represented here in the delegations. But I want in a very special way to recognize our Inspector General of Government, who is here with us, the Honorable Betty, come here. Also here with us is the Director of Public Prosecution. Please stand for recognition from the Republic of Uganda. We have the Permanent Secretary from the Ministry of Lands. Please stand for recognition. And Right Honorable, we have all the heads of agencies here that are attending this 49th session. With that said, allow me to invite the Minister of Finance, the Honorable Henry Musasizi, to come and make his remarks, and thereafter invite you, our chief guest, to make your remarks. You're most welcome, Honorable Minister. Please welcome the Honorable Minister.
Thank you so much, Boris. The Right Honorable Prime Minister of the Republic of Uganda, who is representing His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda, Honorable Ministers, the Chairperson of the Esaamlg Taskforce, the officials, the heads of ministries, departments, and agencies, the Executive Secretary of Esaamlg, heads of delegations, the officials, the cooperating and supporting nations, observer nations and organizations, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My great honor to welcome you all, Uganda, and to the 49th Eastern and Southern African Anti-Money Laundering Group Task Force senior officials. Welcome you all. Allow me, in a special way, welcome Right Honorable Prime Minister of the Republic of Uganda these meetings and thank her for representing His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda as Chief Guest. As you may be aware, the Esaamlg is a regional body which ensures that member countries adhere to global standards for combating money laundering, financing of terrorism, and proliferation of weapons of mass destruction. It consists of 21 member countries and a number of cooperating and supporting nations. Uganda has been a founding member state of this body since 27th of August 1999. These meetings provide a valuable platform to review compliance with Financial Action Task Force standards and enhance regional cooperation in the fight against organized crime and terrorism. Right Honorable Prime Minister, we made significant progress in strengthening Uganda's anti-money laundering through combating the financing of terrorism regime. Allow me to highlight some of the key milestones have registered in this regard. Number one, removal of Uganda from the Financial Action Task Force grey list. The FATF in 2024 recognized our satisfactory implementation of all deficiencies in our anti-money laundering / combating financing of terrorism, legal, regulatory, and operational regime, and removed Uganda from the grey list of countries under increased monitoring, commonly referred to as the grey list. Number two, Uganda has taken deliberate steps to enhance its anti-money laundering / financing of terrorism, legal and regulatory framework. We amended a number of laws, including the Anti-Money Laundering Act and the Anti-Terrorism Act, to align them with the Financial Action Task Force standards. Number three, the Financial Intelligence Authority has continued to play a central role in Uganda's AML/CFT regime. With increased resources, autonomy and capacity, the authority has enhanced its analytical and supervisory functions. Number four, Uganda has embraced a risk-based approach to supervision. Supervisory authorities, including the Bank of Uganda, the Insurance Regulatory Authority, and the Capital Markets Authority, have been instrumental in rolling out tailored supervisory frameworks that reflect the unique risks of each sector. Number five, we have completed our second national risk assessment, which provided valuable insights into sectoral vulnerabilities. We also developed and are now implementing a comprehensive national anti-money laundering / combating the financing of terrorism strategy that prioritizes key areas of reform and resource allocation. Number six, Uganda has established a functional coordination mechanism such as the National AML/CFT Task Force. The Financial Intelligence Authority is a member of the Egmont Group of Financial Intelligence Units that facilitate cooperation and intelligence sharing between national financial intelligence units to investigate and prevent money laundering and terrorism finance. Number seven, the law enforcement agencies supported by the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution have made significant progress in investigating and prosecuting money laundering and terrorism financing offenses. We have also recovered assets linked to criminal activities. Number eight, Uganda has worked closely with financial institutions, designated non-financial business and professions, and the private sector to raise awareness and capacity building. Our public-private partnership have led to improved compliance levels and stronger detection of illicit financial activities. Number nine, continue to actively participate in the Esaamlg mutual evaluation processes and technical assistance programs. Ladies and gentlemen, these achievements demonstrate our government's strong political commitment and multi-stakeholder collaboration in strengthening financial integrity. While we recognize that challenges remain, especially in emerging areas such as virtual assets, Uganda remains dedicated to building a resilient anti-money laundering regime. We thank the Esaamlg and our development partners for their continued support. Ladies and gentlemen, I now have the honor to invite our chief guest, the Uganda's Prime Minister, Right Honorable Robin Nabanja, to deliver her remarks and officially open the 49th Eastern and Southern African Anti-Money Laundering Group Task Force of Senior Officials meeting. I thank you so much.
The honorable ministers present, the chairperson of the Esaamlg Taskforce of senior officials, the heads of government, ministries, departments, and agencies, the executive secretary, heads of delegations, senior officials, cooperating and supporting nations, observer nations and organizations, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor to welcome you to Uganda, the Pearl of Africa. I bring you warm greetings from His Excellency General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of the Republic of Uganda, who, due to other commitments, is unable to join us today. He conveys his best wishes for successful and productive deliberations. However, he gave me his speech, which I am going to read verbatim. The honorable ministers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I am honored to address you today at this very important gathering of senior officials from the Eastern and Southern Africa Anti-Money Laundering Group, Esaamlg. I'm unable to come, but I've sent the Prime Minister to represent me. Your presence and active participation in these regional efforts is a testament to our collective resolve to strengthen financial integrity, combat illicit financial flows, and safeguard our economies from harmful effects of money laundering and terrorism financing and proliferation of financing. Money laundering and financial terrorism and proliferation are weapons of mass destruction and are not mere crimes. They pose direct threats to our national security, economic stability, and development. And if left unchecked, these illicit activities have the potential to undermine trust in financial systems, discourage investment, and support criminal networks that destabilize our societies. These financial crimes are not confined to national borders. They are threats that demand regional and global collaboration. Criminal networks exploit weaknesses in financial systems to move illicit funds across borders, undermining economic growth, fueling corruption, funding terrorism and inflation. Recent reports indicate that Africa is annually losing resources in billions of dollars due to illicit financial flows, mainly through organized crime, corruption, and tax evasion. The Financial Action Task Force and Esaamlg have continued to push for stronger anti-money laundering and combating financing of terrorism measures. However, criminals are continuously adopting their methods. And so, terrorist groups and organized criminal networks, commonly known as gangs, continue to finance their activities through illegal trade, drug trafficking, exploitation of weak regulatory frameworks across countries. Strengthening compliance with global standards such as the Financial Action Task Force standards and enhancing collaboration with law enforcement agencies continue to be at the forefront of our priorities. The Eastern and Southern African region faces threats from several terrorist groups, including Al-Shabaab and Islamic State. Additionally, the rapid digitalization of sub-Saharan Africa has opened up new avenues for terrorist groups to recruit, radicalize, and fundraise online, presenting fresh challenges for counterterrorism efforts. Ladies and gentlemen, Uganda, like other Esaamlg member states, has undertaken significant steps to combat money laundering and terrorism financing threats. We have strengthened our legal frameworks, established and strengthened the relevant institutions, and worked closely with regional and international counterparts to exchange intelligence and best practices. However, we acknowledge that combating financial crime is a constantly evolving challenge that requires ongoing adaptation and vigilance. I have been informed that different jurisdictions in the Eastern and Southern African region have made progress in implementing measures to combat money laundering and terrorism financing. However, experience has proven that it is increasingly difficult for states to fight financial crimes on their own, except by working together. Therefore, as a community in the region and beyond, we need to remain resolute in working together to secure the integrity of the global financial system. I commend the Eastern and Southern Africa Anti-Money Laundering Group, Esaamlg, for its vital role in fostering regional cooperation, supporting capacity building, and ensuring compliance with international standards, particularly those set by the Financial Action Task Force. Together, we can ensure that our nations are not exploited for illicit financial activities. On behalf of the people of Uganda, I also wish to commend the Esaamlg for its contribution towards the removal of Uganda from the list of jurisdictions under increased monitoring by FATF, commonly known as FATF Grey List in 2024. I wish to thank the various cooperating and supporting nations, the Financial Action Task Force, and development partners here today. This is because of the tireless commitment in supporting countries in Eastern and Southern Africa region to implement robust measures to combat money laundering, terrorism financing, and politification financing. As you deliberate over the coming days, I encourage you to focus on actionable strategies that will strengthen our collective response to financial crimes. Let us prioritize information sharing, capacity building, and harmonization of policies that will enhance our region's ability to detect, prevent, and prosecute money laundering and terrorism financing. Because no investor can be attracted to any economy to make losses. Uganda remains fully committed to the Esaamlg agenda and will continue to support regional and global initiatives that build a safer and more transparent financial system. Together, we can strengthen the integrity of the global financial system and combat illicit financial flows and contribute to global economic stability. There is a need to permanently cure Africa's vulnerable position in the global arena of economic and political giants. Africa is still an easy prey for plunder and marginalization, as long as the strides towards economic and political integration remain sluggish. Ladies and gentlemen, as we advocate for peace, it is crucial that industrialization is embraced in order to stop exportation of unprocessed raw materials. This is unfavorable to economies because our people lose money, they also lose jobs. Economies should transition from exportation of raw materials to industrial production through value addition of available natural resources given to African countries by God. This will also ensure our resources are not easily and quickly exhausted. In order to transform socially and economically, countries should produce goods or services for commercialization, targeting regional, continental, and global markets. We should strongly advocate for unity, economic integration, and fight against the subsistence mindset of our communities, and champion infrastructure development, ensure peace and security in the entire continent, remove all communications and trade barriers, and ensure financial stability and access to factors of production in general. Once again, I welcome you to Uganda. I urge you to spare time and explore our rich and expansive cultural and geographical features like the mountains, Rwenzori and Elgon, the source of the river Nile, the longest river in Africa. Surrounding this venue here where we are, there is the world's second largest freshwater lake, Victoria. You can also visit the Mabira Forest, being the largest natural evergreen rainforest with diversity of wildlife, trees, birds, and animal species. This is in addition to many recreation and leisure areas such as Uganda Wildlife and Education Center at Entebbe, Queen Elizabeth and Kidepo National Game Parks, which you can explore during and after this conference. Uganda's cultural heritage is incredibly rich and diverse, consisting of 56 indigenous ethnic groups, each having its own unique customs, dialects, values, and traditions. This makes Uganda, crossed by the equator, a home of numerous cultural landmarks given her heritage and a fascinating destination for cultural exploration. It is now, ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure to declare the 49th Eastern and Southern Africa Anti-Money Laundering Group Task Force of Senior Officials meeting open for God and my country. I thank you, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda.
In the heart of Eastern and Southern Africa, a vital mission unfolds. A region committed to financial integrity, economic stability, and the relentless fight against financial crimes. Welcome to the 49th East and Southern Africa Anti-Money Laundering Group Task Force of Senior Officials meeting. A collaborative effort uniting policymakers, regulators, and financial intelligence experts. Bridging 21 member states with one shared goal: to combat financial crimes and strengthen financial systems. Through partnership, innovation, and decisive action, we take another step forward in shaping a secure and resilient financial future. As we enhance regional collaboration to combat financial crimes and promote financial integrity. Welcome to the Pearl of Africa. Welcome to the 49th East and Southern Africa Anti-Money Laundering Group Task Force of Senior Officials meeting, Uganda, 2025.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we once again appreciate the Right Honorable Prime Minister? Thank you very much, Right Honorable. I want to quickly ask for two favors. I know you're out of time. The very first favor, Right Honorable, is we'll have a couple of photos before you leave, and the protocol team should get closer to handle that session of photos. And we also will have our lovely Ndere Troop entertainers as we walk out very shortly. But I also want to announce that the following will happen after this session. The very first meeting of the Technical Assistance and Training, that is the TA&T meeting, will convene after this session here in this hall. And then the task force will also resume later this afternoon at 2:30. So that's on behalf of the group. And Right Honorable, I also thought it would be important to recognize the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Finance of the United Republic of Tanzania, Madam Dr. Natu Mwamba. Please stand for recognition. Also with us, Right Honorable Prime Minister, is the Deputy Governor of the Bank of Tanzania, but he's also the Chairperson of the National Multidisciplinary Committee on Anti-Money Laundering Committee of Tanzania, Madam Sauda Msemo. Right Honorable, and I did also mention that we have justices. So also here with us is again from Eswatini, the Judge of the High Court, Bongi Kosi Magagula. Please stand for recognition. Yes. Right Honorable, we will have the anthems, and then we will have our photos thereafter. The one ask is that the group photo where all delegates will join you will be outside. We have a special area, but the other photos will happen here after the anthems. And I now want, Right Honorable, before I invite the Prisons Band to take us through the anthems, to request the countries to stand up for recognition, because we want all countries present here recognized members of the group. I'll begin in alphabetical order. Angola, please stand for recognition. Angola, can we appreciate Angola, ladies and gentlemen? You're welcome. Botswana, please stand for recognition. Can we appreciate Botswana? Right, Honorable, I think that group is full of women. It's very, very clear. Burundi, please stand for recognition. Thank you very much. The Democratic Republic of Congo, please stand for recognition. Right, Honorable, that makes this group now 22 members. Executive Secretary, am I right now? So we keep referring to 21, but that's now 22. DRC, thank you so much for joining. Eritrea, please stand for recognition. Thank you. Eswatini, please stand for recognition. Ethiopia, please stand for recognition. The Republic of Kenya, please stand for recognition. Lesotho, please stand for recognition. Madagascar, please stand for recognition. Malawi, please stand for recognition. Mauritius, please stand for recognition. Mozambique, please stand for recognition. Namibia, please stand for recognition. Rwanda, please stand for recognition. The Seychelles, please stand for recognition. South Africa, please stand for recognition. South Sudan, please stand for recognition. Tanzania, please stand for recognition. Zambia, please stand for recognition. Zimbabwe, please stand for recognition. And Right Honorable Prime Minister, finally, Uganda, please stand for recognition. And since we're already standing, we'll remain upstanding for the anthems. I want to invite all of us to be upstanding, and the Uganda Prisons Brass Band, please take it away. Thank you very much, Uganda Prisons Brass Band. I will invite the protocol team to handle the very first photo. The first photos are right here, Right Honorable. So we'll invite all the heads of the Ugandan institution. Please take your seats, delegates. We'll invite all the heads of the Ugandan institutions, the MDAs who are here. Please come. You know yourselves. Of course, I expect the FIA to lead that team. So the heads of these institutions, including our head of delegation, the PSST. We have several heads of institutions, including our deputy governor, who is here. Please join the deputy secretary of the treasury, our dear friends, the DCIC, the deputy IGP, the DPP, the IGG, our permanent secretaries who are present here. And then shortly, I'll invite the heads of the delegations to join. So for now, first hold. Heads of delegation, you're next, but please hold. The protocol team, please handle this particular session. This very first session is of our heads of agencies. These are sister agencies that work with the Eastern and Southern Africa Anti-Money Laundering Group. And this is the very first picture.